Hi, Nipun. Thank you so much for taking the time out and being willing to share your university experience and spilling the beans with us. So, tell us something about yourself.
Hi Shivi. Hello everyone. My name is Nipun Madaan, and I'm currently in my second year of I'm doing MBA in UCLan University. Right now, I'm in Preston, so the university is based in Preston. It has four campuses, but the Preston is the biggest one. And at the moment, I'm working for the university as an ambassador, working for the sports center as a fitness trainer and ambassador, and I'm also the president of the Ukraine Society for the year 1920.
So, that's a lot accomplished during this time then. So, what made you really move from where you are to the UK, and what made you decide UCLan as the university you wanted to go to?
Right. So basically, when I was in my home country, I used to
So,
be
your
a
home country
professional.
is
Yeah, I'm from India as well,
India.
basically Jaipur, Rajasthan. So I used to be a professional cricketer. I used to play cricket for about 8, 9 years, and then when there was a time when I wasn't getting forward, or they were like I was not getting selected for something. So that's when I decided. My parents decided that let's do something in regards to studies. Let's have a backup option. Let's go out and see the world, see something around, just to distract myself, and so that I don't stay in the same particular position and live the old same life, regretting about the stuff that I couldn't achieve. So that's how we decided to do MBA, of course. And choosing UCLan, I would say, when I decided that I need to go UK, then obviously, like many other people, I made out a list in which I decided, okay, which universities are offering the MBA and a lot of stuff. And then you cut out a lot of university based on the finances, based on the location, based on the modules that you wanted. So at the end, there was some like two or three universities that were left, but I choose UCLan specifically because of two bigger reasons. The first reason was because it was located in Preston, so it was cheap. The living accommodation, like the accommodations and all the living expenses, are usually quite cheap if you compare to any other place in UK.
Right.
And the second reason is because most of the people are coming here in the university for MBA because they are getting 2 years MBA. So the MBA is usually 1 year program in
Right.
UK, but yeah, because we were getting 2 years MBA, so I was like, yeah, and also the university ranking was doing quite good from last 3 4 years as well. So yeah, that's why I was like, oh, let's go for this one.
So, a lot of students who move out or think of doing university from abroad have this question running on their heads, which is, should they go for the university or should they go for the course? So, you being having been there and done that, what would you suggest to upcoming students or students who want to enroll in the next year or in the coming years to study abroad? Say, should they go for the course that they want to study, or should they go for the university experience or the exposure that they're looking for?
I mean, like, as per my experience and as per my knowledge, what I've seen is if you have any particular thing in your mind, if you have a particular desire, that right, you want to go into this particular field, if you want to do this particular thing, if you have a very specific that you want to join this particular company, go for the course. Aim for the modules, aim for the good grades, and carry out the skill set that will help you out the most. But if you are still willing to live your student life, make the most of it, and if you're still discovering about yourself that, okay, you have a broader field that you are not really specific, that you might do this, you might like this, you might like this, I would say go for the university, and you will meet different kind of people down there. You will learn about their different kind of cultures, you'll try the different foods, you'll try the different experiences. Basically, you'll develop yourself, and you'll get to know about yourself, like what you can do in your life, what you can achieve in your life. Because there are a lot of students who just go for particular module and something like that. Because I have some people, I have some friends who are studying in London or something, because they were really keen on getting into that particular college and doing that particular course, because their main aim was to get into a job into that particular company. So it basically depends on the person to person who what their preference is like. But I will just classify them into those two in the categories.
I think that's an interesting perspective there when you mentioned that if you're not sure what you want to do, or if you do not know your niche, then the best idea is to go for the university so that you
Yeah,
get an idea about what kind of people are there, you get to know different cultures, and you get a broader perspective. And then probably eventually you can decide and you get to a point where this is what you want to do, or this is your niche that you want to study or probably pursue later in the future. And then talking
exactly.
about
Yeah.
culture, Um, what was the biggest culture shock for you when you moved from, say, India, or say from Jaipur to Preston, or from India to the UK? What was the biggest culture shock for you?
Right. So basically, when the first time you enter into this country, obviously when your flight lands and you are into the immigration line, and then obviously you get a kind of a visa that's known as BRP, and then when you are at the point and they start saying you into that particular accent, you are like, what the did you said? So you basically you have no idea that the first culture shock that you get, that English is just not about English. It's like the different kind of accent, the way they speak, the way they deal with things. It's a lot different. And when I started to live here, I get to know like the people are more practical here. The people are more looking forward. People here, they are more. The people here are like more language. It's not only about the residents here.
Right.
What I saw was like even the students who have been here for about more than a year and a half, 2 years, they develop into this culture, they develop the accent, they develop into this culture, they know how to let go of the things, they know how to just look forward and live in the present. Because
Yeah.
this culture, the British culture is all about living in the present.
Right.
No regrets, no guilt, have an idea about future, but not too tense about the future,
Not be
just living in the
stressed
present. That's
about
why
it.
exactly, that's why you must have seen like they work for 5 days and they spend it out on the next 2 days. So
Yeah.
that's how they are very good at parties. So that was the biggest culture shock for me. It took a while to adapt, but obviously as slowly and steadily you start adapting that, and yeah, you get along with it.
And then you become used to it because everything is so flowy, and then you feel like you become a
Exactly.
part of what's happening.
Exactly. And also to be like, because you are here, you need to adapt yourself as well if you want to grow here.
Absolutely.
Like it's not only about if you want to stay here or not, even if you want to go back within 2.5 years. For those 2.5 years, you need to grow, you need to adapt yourself, you need to get along with it. So you need to, like in India we say jaisa desh vaisa besh. That
Yeah.
usually means like the place that you are in, you need to adapt yourself down there, you need to adapt the food, culture and everything in order to sustain there, in order to sustain very well. Yeah.
Right. So when we talk about culture shocks and you making it to the UK, were there any myths that you had? I mean, maybe you thought about something in a certain way, but when you reached here, it was a completely different thing. So were there any myths that were broken for you and you felt, oh, was it supposed to be like that? Did you have that moment or moments like that? That was
Right. So basically, I think so. The biggest myth for the students usually who are looking forward to study abroad is like before they even go down there, they start dreaming about the place, they start dreaming about the culture, they start dreaming about everything else. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna be living this life, I'm gonna be dreaming this life, I'm gonna be doing achieving this. But in reality, after second day, you need to wash your dishes as well. You need to go and clean your washrooms as well. You need to maintain your rooms as well. You need to do a lot of stuff. Like, to be honest, I think so the life here becomes so fast paced that you don't get enough time to be involved. Sometimes, like on a personal level, when I first came UK, I think so every 4, 5 or 6 days I was hardly getting a I was able to do a video call at my home because I wasn't getting enough time. And my parents was like, are you not even getting half an hour, 1 hour to just talk to us? Though I
right.
was getting, but that's just kind of a personal space where I really need to chill out and where I need to calm myself because I was running so fast.
Right.
Because the thing is, when you're back home, somebody's cooking for you, somebody's doing the cleaning for you. Everybody, like everything is almost well settled for you. I would say 50% of the things is gonna be settled down for you.
Yeah.
But when you're here, everything you need to do, you need to go down 15 minutes walk to the grocery shop, purchase your groceries, and come back. You need to wash, you need to cook, everything basically from the smallest of the biggest thing you have to do. So it's a lot of responsibility as well. And at the same time, it's a very good learning experience, but very fast paced life. So if you are looking forward to it, you're ready to live the fast paced life, then obviously you need to come forward. You need to, come out and talk about, yeah, like live the life out here.
Yeah, I mean, I think each one of us has this dream idea of leaving the country and then moving to a certain place and doing things a certain way. But it's only when you reach there you realize, oh, there's laundry to do, oh, there's reading to
Yeah.
do, and then there's groceries to
Yeah,
do, and there's everything else on your plate, which was actually being done for you if we take the case of
exactly.
India. So, yeah,
And
I
that's
think
apart from your studies. That's apart from your
that's
studies. Like
apart from the
obviously when you
studies.
were in India, you were doing your study, and at the same time everything was done for you, but still you were not finding enough time. But now
Yeah.
here you need to study very hard, which you were doing down there, because you need to do good, like, get good grades. That's why you came here for. And apart from that, the 50% of work which is already done, you need to do that as well. So it's very fast, very fast. There was, I'll be very honest, in the second semester there were some weeks in which, like, for the whole week I was just sleeping constantly for about 2 3 weeks, like 35, 36 hours, let's say 37 hours in the whole week. For like 2 3 weeks, that was my maximum sleeping time, 5 hours, 6 hours. I couldn't sleep more than that. So yeah, that's how you sometimes need to go if you get really busy, or need to get along with it.
Right. Okay. So now one question that a lot of students have is regarding jobs, the big question. So everyone, before even they leave, they start thinking about how are they going to maintain their expenses, or how are they going to make themselves feel more independent when it comes to finances, or even just the fact that the whole idea of part-time, which is very attractive when you look at it from India. So having known you personally and having known the fact that you have been involved in so many activities in university and even outside, what would be your suggestion, or how would you advise upcoming students to approach the idea of jobs or working part-time, and what should they really do about it? How should they like strategize the whole thing?
I mean, like, to be very honest, if you talk about the international students and basically from India perspective, like, I'm at the moment I'm the ambassador for the university as well. So what we have is we have a page inclined towards the university where the students can contact me at any point of time, and I reply them as soon as possible. I try to reply them, and where they ask me certain questions. So the most amount of question that from I get from the Indian student is like, what about the part-time opportunities? Basically, that's what their main, I won't say agenda, but like, it's a kind of aim that they also need to sustain throughout. I don't blame them for that, because I believe that obviously they need to work it out and they need to survive and obviously take out their maintenance cost and everything as well. So first of all, working part time, I would say, as per the restrictions, you are able to work 20 hours a week, and that's enough to carry out your expenses. I'll be very honest with you, until unless you are just not going out and spending every other day and like recklessly. So it's enough, and also it depends on the course as well. Like, if you are really really studying a very good course, it's level 7 course, level 6 course, whatever you're studying, medicine, you're studying MBA, sometimes it will get difficult. It will get difficult to pursue your part-time jobs with your course. So what I would suggest is, like, if you are really good at time management, if you are really good at planning it out, do plan, but do not make that the priority. Don't just aim to do the part-time job. Aim for what you have came for into this country. First complete that, you will have enough opportunity to earn that whole life. That's completely fine. And even if you believe like you can do the part-time and you can sustain very well, go for it. It's not very hard to find a part-time. Like, I haven't met a single person who's just sitting around idle, didn't got any part-time. And when he tried, like, it's a COVID going on, that's another thing, that's another case. But when the situations were normal, when everything was fine, it's completely fine, I would say. So part-time shouldn't be, on my perspective, should be the main priority. You're finishing the course, doing the degree. And also what I suggest to most of the people is, like, live your life, guys. Like, in the first year, you need to live your life.
Right.
You will go around, you will do some work, but like student life, it's gone,
Will
so
never
it's
come
gone.
back. Yeah.
It will never come back. So, but the whole rest of life, you will have a chance to earn. So my main agenda was, in the first year, was not to work that much, but just to create, go out, meet new people, d- like take different experiences, go out, learn the different culture, eat their food, and all that stuff. To just, it was like investing in yourself. You grow, you learn, you experience new things, you develop new skills. If you talk about, like, if you tell, like, to go out in a group of European people, you will know how to talk, you will know how to present yourself. But
Right.
because if you are from a particular country, you don't get that experience, you don't get that exposure, you don't know how to do it, basically.
Right.
So that's the best thing, that's the best part to do it. So first year, just go around, involved in the activities from the university, take part in the events, create your name, create awareness, and then obviously you can work part time. Yeah, there's
I
always scope
think
to
two
do that.
important things to take from this is that firstly you should not lose your focus. So the focus being you moving to a different country is to study that course or to gain that exposure, and not be distracted with the whole idea of part time. And secondly, also
Yeah,
keep in mind that there might be courses that you're opting for that might not allow you to work part time, and
exactly.
which can be very engaging. So it's important to be very sure about your class timings and what's happening otherwise, and if you can balance it out, because student life is supposed to be reading, learning, having fun, and enjoying that student life journey,
Exactly.
instead of stressing
Yeah,
about things like, say, part-time jobs or making that
yeah,
money, or even
yeah.
stressing about exams or submissions. So it's more important to
Because like,
live that life.
because I when you said that, I remember like there were some people from my particular batch, because when I came in there were somewhere around 80 people in our batch, but when we enrolled into our second year there were hardly 50 people left, 45, 50 people left. So the 30 people, because they were too focused on working and they forgot about their academics and they didn't do well in the academics, their attendance was very poor. University took action on them. University informed their home office, and home office really took action on their visas and all that stuff.
Right.
So this is a complication as well. You need to think about it as well. Like, you just can't come around here, mess around here, do whatever you want. Whatever you have came for, keep it on the first priority. Do it, and then obviously you'll get enough time to do everything else. Believe me.
Right. So everyone
Yeah.
has their eyes on you. Don't think about messing around or not doing what
Yeah.
you initially came for.
Exactly.
That's very important.
Exactly. Exactly. You can't just hide out yourself thinking about like you are totally in a shell. No. You will get caught. You everybody will somehow or that will have eyes on you, especially when you are out of your home and nobody is there to protect you or guard you up. That's a whole new different perspective for the students because they haven't lived that kind of life ever.
Right.
So yeah, there's always somebody watching you. So you need to make sure that you do good, and whatever you do has the consequences. You should know like how to bear those consequences. Yeah.
Lovely. Well, those are some very interesting insights and, say, experiences that you've shared with people, whoever is going to listen to can learn from it and maybe implement into their respective lives whenever it is that they leave for university, or even if they are in university, these are experiences that they can even learn now at this point or start adapting at this point.
Mhm.
So, moving to the next question, which is, what was your biggest pain point as a student? I mean, we all talk about the dreamy world of student life, the parties, the late nights, and the flings and whatnot. But what has been your
Mm.
biggest pain point living the student life over the last 1.5, 2 years?
Right. So for me, like to be honest, this is a question that will, I would say, will depend personally on the different person to person.
Absolutely.
But for me, the biggest pain point was two of the things. Like first is obviously finances. Oh my God, you need to manage your finances really well. You need to be really good at it. And the secondly would be time management, I would say, because being a student, as I said earlier, it's so fast-paced life here. What I do usually is I, in the morning or before sleeping in the night, I usually write a list down of the next day,
Right.
what I have to do.
You have a to do
Even
list
if
for the
I,
next day.
yes, even if I'm able to achieve 60, 70% of the list, I'm really happy, I'm really glad. But it's very rare of the days where I just tick about everything that I'm like,
Everything.
oh. So
Right.
time management is the key. You need to be really, really good with the planning. You need to really, really plan according to your day. Because what happens is like we plan a day accordingly, like from this point, this, I will do this. But
Right.
then there are spontaneous things. A friend calls you up, I need some help for an hour. You can't say no.
Right. Yes,
These kind of things. Or there are spontaneous plans, or what if you get a call from a friend who really needs to talk? What if you get a call from your home, which you didn't like wrote mention it that you had to like you will have
yeah,
today
most
or
of us
whatever
don't write
thing.
in our to-do list, call mom, call dad, and stuff like
Exactly. That's not even a thing to do. Exactly. But that's a spontaneous thing, and that will wreck out all the hours that you are working ahead. So that's the main thing. You need to be very well organized, very well planned. Time management is the key, and obviously dealing with the finances. Not a lot of people are good dealing with the finances because as a students when you're at home, it's managed by our parents.
that. Yeah.
Either they give you pocket money, that's this is this, that's it, or it's managed by your parents. Straightforward. But here, when you start earning yourself and there's the freedom to spend,
Yeah.
at the first place you're like, go, ooh, I have so much money and I'm gonna spend it. Come on, let's do party and all. And within the next week, you realize, oh shit, I'm really running low on the money. So these can be the really two biggest pain points in the student life, to managing the money and time management, because these things can be, can lead you to be super stressed at times. Like
Yeah.
it can sound funny at the moment, but it can lead you very super stressed, because imagine being in a country where you don't have your support of the family and you don't have enough finances on you. It can be very, very stressful. And the
Absolutely.
time management, because you'll always, at the end of the day, you'll find yourself running behind. I'm sorry about the ambulance. So you'll always find yourself running behind. So what you'll feel that you're not doing really good, and you'll start doubting yourself. So these are the really two key things as from my perspective, but this perspective can be very from different
Different to
individual
different
to different
people.
individual. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think managing finances and then time management also, because as students we tend to not value our time and not value the money that has been most likely sent to us from, say, our respective homes. And then every sale starts to look more attractive, every new item starts to appeal to us more, and we just end up spending everything that we've got. And
exactly.
by the end of the month we start thinking about how to take care of our expenses, how to get that load of groceries that we want to. So yeah, instead of doing that, instead of, now that people know that these are the pain points, it's important to like take care of these things, be able to manage your time better. Like you suggested, having a to-do list helps. Not having like
Right.
10 or 8 items on it, but say 3 things that you want to get done every day, which can be helpful in de-stressing you while you already have stress about moving to a new country, meeting new people, and then especially about the new way of learning, which is so very
Yeah,
different from how things are done in India.
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, these pain points need to be managed. Okay, from the pain points, moving on to some fun stuff. This is the part where we have the questions the answers very short and crisp. These are a few
Right,
questions where you have to answer. You don't have to be quick, but these have to be short and crisp, basically.
right.
Yeah, you ready for it?
Yeah.
Cool. The first question: 3 things
Mhm.
to carry with you to university.
Oh my god! Don't forget your bag and you, like, there are no books first of all. But what I saw was, in my first year, the people just coming around, because there was online lectures and there were computers and laptops provided. You
Right.
just came on your own. Keep your pen and your paper with you, guys. That's really important. It's not that everything is online, so you don't need to have. There are some certain stuff to do, and apart from that, like, not really anything in specific that you need to carry or something like that, I would say.
I think Mills might have
Most
to
of,
carry their Maggie load.
I mean, because most of the things are here online,
Yeah.
and well, that's not even a thing to say. Most of the people carry their phone 24/7. So just don't forget your phone, because, like, even I don't carry my card at the moment. Like, I
Right.
never carry my card, because just for the sake of it gets stolen, or it can get lost or whatever.
Yeah.
So most of the things are here online. So you have Apple Pay, you just add your card on your phone, and that's it. It will
Everything's
get the job done. So yeah, I just carry my phone. Phone can be used for everything out
everything.
here. So yeah, pretty much. You don't, in specific, you don't need to carry about anything.
I think one more important thing before you reach the airport
Ah,
is not to forget.
I forgot one thing. Sorry for
Yeah.
interrupting. You
No,
need
go
to
for it.
carry an umbrella. You need to carry
Oh,
an umbrella or a brolly,
that's an important one.
because guys, it's sunny and the next minute it's gonna start raining. You will never know.
Yeah.
Especially if you're living in the UK, living up in north side. Oh my God. You get up in the morning, you look at the weather, it's like, oh my God, it's 29 degrees today. It's fantastic weather throughout the day. And
Yeah.
at 4 p.m., it starts raining, and you're like, how can it even be possible? Carry an umbrella, guy. Pro tip every time. Even a small one in your bag, put it anywhere, put a
Just
brolly,
fix
but
it.
really,
Just
really
carry
important.
costumes that let you fix your umbrella somewhere, because rains are like the kind of
Exactly.
guest that can come any day, anytime in the UK.
Exactly, guys. Just make sure that you carry your umbrella. Otherwise, you're always gonna become, like, reaching home wet. Believe me.
That's an important one. Umbrellas are a must in the UK for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, what was your Friday nights like when you were in uni? If you can define it in, say, 3 words or one sentence, how would you like to define it? Friday nights in uni.
I would say
The
fun,
smile
amazing, and
says a
lost.
lot.
I mean, like usually the Friday is the payday here, so a lot of people go out on Fridays. So yeah, I mean, like Friday nights are fun, but you need to prepare about Saturday as well because otherwise you're gonna get drunk in the morning and then hangovers the whole Saturday. You're gonna be just like laying in the bed all around. And but yeah, Friday nights are usually in the UK are the payday, so a lot of people just go out, you have a fun around places, go out nightclubs, clubs, whatever, just go around the pubs or whatever. But they do go out. So it's a really fun Friday nights here. What I saw was, yeah.
So, in 3 words, how would you define your Friday night?
That's what I said. I was fun, amazing, but lost as well. Yeah,
Lost in
lost
world.
to a lot of things.
The
Lost
greatest
have a lot of things.
advice, the greatest advice being there is to have a water bottle the next morning next to you,
The greatest advice, yeah, obviously
so
would
that
be
you
like
don't wake
that.
up dry
And
mouth.
and also I would suggest like don't take too much money out with you on a Friday night because you don't know how much you're gonna be spending up to. So you will have no clue. The next morning you're gonna get up in the morning and you're gonna be like, oh shit, I spent more than I should have. I just spent double it. So yeah, you need to make sure that whatever you are spending, because you know when that particular phase when you're just out enjoying, you don't think about anything else. You just want to enjoy. You just want to live in the present. You just want to go around, have fun, and you don't think about anything else. But the next day, when you are calm, when you are about insensitive, you are filled with guilt, and you're like, shit, what happened last night? So
So that's where the
that's
money
how the
stress
thing is.
comes from.
Exactly, money stress comes from there as well. Yeah.
So it's funny how you mentioned about being careful on how much you're spending the previous night. Have you ever been in a situation where you woke up the next morning and saw your phone and there were transactions or there were payments made which you don't remember paying for?
Yeah, usually like I'm not a kind of person who gets drunk easily. So that's all my friends would agree as well. But like yeah, there were once, twice, like two, three times I would say there were times like when in the morning I was like, is that transaction really made by me, or is it something really done by me? Because you have no idea, you have really no clue about it. You just wake up in the morning and you check your statement and you're like, how is it even possible? I don't think so. I would have. That's what I said. Like you spend it all, you live in the present, and you don't even remember it. But sometimes you remember it, you still go on to spend it. So it's just both ways. You need to be very careful about it.
And sometimes you have the same drink charge for different prices when you look at your transactions. You're like, really? Was it three in the beginning and then £5 later on?
Yeah, but to be honest, you don't even realize if you're paying for someone else or something like that.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
you never know. At that time, everybody is your brothers, everybody is your
Everybody's having a
friend, and
gala
everybody.
time, so everybody's ready to be like
Yeah,
a whole big family and be ready to spend for each other and
exactly.
have a
So
good
at
time.
that particular time, you are like, yeah, just go on, get along, and yeah, we'll have fun, and that's it. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that can be fun, but very painful the next morning.
It can be, yeah, it can be.
So, share with us that one universities are about classrooms other than just having a gala time, partying, and whatnot. So, what has been your one most memorable classroom memory that still sticks with you, or that you still recall every now and then with your friends?
Classroom memory, I need to recall. I would say in the first year of my university life, in the first year of my MBA, we were made to go to the Lake District. I mean, like Wintervale Lake District. That was a part of our course where you need to live for about 2.5 days, and you
Right.
learn about yourself. You develop the skills about yourself. So the best classes was when we came back and we started reflecting on it, and then we started realizing how much we learned. Because at period of time, at the moment, like you and I are having a conversation, and we're just living in the present, and we are, just having a conversation simply. But after a while, if you're gonna reflect back, maybe I will think I could have said that. You could have think
Yeah.
that you could have asked that. So that's the best time when you critically self-evaluate yourself. So
Right.
those were the classes when our tutor really helped us to look about all those experiences and made us realize that, oh my God, we really developed those skills. We
Right.
really developed those team working skills. I really had that experience. So that was really, really kind of encouraging. was really a good experience for me. As on a funny part, I don't think so. We had a really funny experience regarding in the because to be very honest, I didn't have any kind of batchmates who were really fun to do with. So they all were like very keen in the course
All
and
the
everything
fun
like that.
happened outside of the classrooms, that means.
All the fun happened outside the class, believe me. I wanted to do fun inside the class with the teachers and people. No, all the fun happened outside the class usually.
Yeah.
But like with some of the group lectures, they were really fun because in the group lecture, when all of the MBA group, the batch, 60, 70, 80 people just turn up together on the same particular day and they have in a big lecture hall, they have a group lecture. They were pretty fun because at that particular point of time, you have quite fun because like you can just do whatever you want. You just sit behind and you do whatever you want. No, the teacher can't watch you up there so far ahead of you. So
It's
yeah,
not
they
too
were
late
pretty
that
good.
you become the backbenchers then.
Not really, but I was still in the middle ones here.
Yeah,
Usually the front or the middle ones here.
right. So, living in uni, doing all these things, enjoying life, attending classrooms, and leaving the country, it can get a bit stressing sometimes. It can get a bit lonely sometimes. So, have you ever been in a situation where you missed home? Or there were multiple ones, but any one that sticks with you that this was the one time I really missed home and I wish I was home?
Oh yeah, of course. Like it's in about like 2 years now. There was a lot of time. I'm sorry about the sun. Right. So
Oh,
yeah, there were a
nobody in
lot.
England must be sorry about the sun at this point.
Oh yeah, no, nobody's gonna believe me. I'm shooting in England.
Yeah,
No, no,
I'll be
guys,
like,
I'm in England.
really?
I'm not in Africa. I'm in England here. So
Yeah,
yeah, basically there were a lot of time because that's what I say to people as well. Not every time you're gonna have a good day. Not
yeah,
every time you're gonna get comforted to bed at the night. Not every time you're gonna be very satisfied coming to home. There are always gonna be ups and downs. There are always gonna be lows. There are always gonna be highs. So when there are usually low times and where there are usually down, when you come home, when you really need to talk to someone, when you really need to share some to someone, where you really need to get motivated or listen just good things about yourself and get motivated, there are times when you really miss home. And it happened quite a lot over the 2 years, but the majority, I would say, it happened like the experience that I would want to share here. Like recently, few months back, I had a surgery in my left ankle. I dislocated it. So I've never been hospitalized in my life. Never ever. There was never even a drip that was uh, the needle was put in me. So staying away from home from so many, staying in all through a different country, go to a hospital, not even just to do for small of treatment, just do a surgery, straight away go to an operation theater was a very big task for me. So that's why I most of the time I missed my family, and I was just like I wish like my family should be here and just outside the operation theater because it just gives you internal strength, even
absolutely.
if they're not going to do anything, even if they're going to just stand outside, it's going to give you that, oh, there is somebody with me. So that was the time I missed them the most. And obviously after the surgery, slowly and steadily it started. So that was the time, yeah, I was like, yeah, it should be like that.
Yeah, I guess sometimes just the feeling of having them beside you is what
Exactly.
completes you, and that's what you're longing for sometimes.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So you talked about one of the biggest pain points as a student being your finances or managing your expenses or how money management was trouble for you. So
Hmm.
what would be your advice? What would be your 101 tip to upcoming students or students who are moving to university to manage expenses? And if it's something that you did in your university during your university period or anything that you realize that if you do this you'll be well managing your money and your expenses.
I would say it's obviously very hard to manage the money at times because at times you will think that okay, I'm not gonna spend more than this particular amount, but you end up spending almost double because you didn't expected some things to come in between and they just came in or spontaneously and
Spending.
you just have to spend it.
Yeah.
So my tip would be you can just try. You can just try. Like
Right.
usually what I did was initially I started keeping receipts
Right.
which at the end I was like it's a lot of paperwork. what do I have to do every week or every month? There's this kind of receipt. There is no point. So either use any kind of app, from the app that you can keep a note of it, because it's gonna give you a track how much you spend in or something like that.
Right.
Or what I've seen, that this may sound very funny, but what I've seen is like some of the students say they have opened two bank accounts. Well, so what they do is they transfer very small amount of money into the second account, and
Yeah.
they just spend it from that. They just take out that card, they just take out something like that, and they just spend it that. That's it. They keep their other account intact. So it does not, so even if they're out and they have particular amount of money, they can only spend that.
Yeah.
They won't be, able to spend more than that. So that's a really helpful tip. Otherwise, it's just up to you. You need to control yourself. I'll be very honest. It's
I think
hard
it's very
sometimes,
important
but
to be mindful of where you're spending, and then also
exactly,
managing your money in the sense that, like, it's great advice when you say that whatever you're getting, keep some amount separate before even spending it. And then when you do that,
exactly.
just only use what you have. So that works out really
Exactly.
well.
Exactly. That can work out for you as well. But like there are some other people as well who usually take out both the cards, and so there's no point doing that. So it's
Yeah.
basically you need to be very mindful of yourself, and you need to have a control on yourself as well, and you need to think about like, yeah, how to go ahead with these expenses and everything as well. But obviously at the same time, keep a note of your receipts. I mean, like, not as in receipts, but like keep a note like how much you are spending, so that it will give you a basic idea how
Right.
much you are spending. So because you need to have a basic idea of how much you are spending, it will help you to compare out yourself for weeks or for months, whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
So you'll know where are you spending the more, or where you can control yourself, something like
Right.
that.
So one final one, and I know it's
Yeah.
difficult, but how would you describe your university life in one word? Just one word.
I would say fabulous.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. In just one word, it will be fabulous. Yeah. Lots of experience,
Yeah.
lots of learning, lots of opportunities, and yeah, pretty much everything. So in one way, it will be very fabulous. Fabulous. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
Awesome.
exactly.
I think that was very interesting and some amazing insights, experiences that you shared, and some
Hmm.
beans that you spilled and talked about your journey as a student. And
Hmm.
keeping in mind that this is something that the students will be watching, and
Yeah.
even others, what is that one advice? Because you have been there and you've done that. What is that one advice you would give to upcoming students who are just enrolling in universities or maybe coming next year, and just a piece of advice you wish you had got, or you wish you can now give to students who are coming in?
The one advice, as I said earlier, will be the time management for sure. I mean, like, guys, it's very important to manage the time. You won't realize until unless you will be there and you will do that.
Yeah.
So yes, it is very, very important to manage your time, because time is money, as they say. And it is really, I am experiencing, and I think so I will experience it. The time is definitely money. So manage your time well, split out the some hour what you have to do, carry out your particular day, prepare your daily schedule or alternate schedule, whatever you want. But try and be on the track, and just don't go off track and just be lazy and the bad, just doing binge watching, or just playing games around, or just messing and fooling around. No, do something productive, do something for yourself, do something for your family, for your life, and make sure you manage your time well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nipun, for sharing all that you just did. And we hope together that this is helpful to all the students out there, whoever's
I
watching
wish
this,
you
to create a better university experience and more mindful university experience, instead of just thinking that it's all a dreamland and everything is going to be perfect, which it's not, and which
exactly,
nothing is. So thank you so
exactly.
much once again for sharing all your
No
experiences, all
worries.
your insights, and also giving us your valuable time, because we know how involved you are in your university and doing so much for the student community. But thanks a lot
Yeah.
once again.
No, no worries.